Have you ever need to fetch data, update a DOM, or clean up resources in React app or Next.js app? So in functional component, useEffect allow us to handle side effects such as fetching data, subscribing to events, or interacting with the browser API. So what is useEffect? So useEffect is a React hook that lets you perform side effects like fetch API, like data fetching, or handling DOM, or like subscribe event to another from server. So here is the basic syntax you can import. So this is a callback function that contains the effect logic and the dependency. So empty dependency means this useEffect will be called only one single time when the component will render in your app or your component. And you can give the multiple dependency, like when you change input, you can give like input field in you can catch the state, and you can give any dependency here. When the dependencies will be changed, the useEffect will be re-trigger, and it will be trigger as asynchronously, and the logic, the perform the logic or side effect. useEffect manages everything by dependencies. It is an array. You can use multiple dependencies when you need to recall the useEffect logics. So no dependency. So here the GPT says us runs after every render. So after every render, that means only refresh page or thus every render. So empty dependency run only once after the initial render. No dependency run every render. When our component changes, then it will render every time. Empty dependency run only once, or dependency array with the variables run when specified variable changes. So dependency with variables runs when the dependency or dependencies will be changed. The function will be called, callback will be triggered, and handle side effects. So use cases with example, basic example login with login to console. So here we have just created a normal functional component named logger. We are importing useEffect from React, and we are just logging useEffect and just render secure console. So you can use it in your component, React component, in your main component, and you can check it out, and it will show the in your console the component render or updated when your component will be rendered or updated. So fetching data will call. So you can fetch data like JSON placeholder or any third parties, or subscribe event, like you need to implement real-time chat application, you need to subscribe event like pusher or socket.io client you need to use. Most as a developer must you need to use in future, or you can use it. So we can fetch data, and this is use state. We are just setting the data on the after successfully fetched data, and it will call the function asynchronously before the browser paint. This return function paint on the browser, it will be fetched, it will be triggered, and after everything work, then the data will be displayed on our browser. So listening like window size. So suppose we need to size of our window, when like we can drag and drop, like we can say resize our window. So when our window size is how much, we don't know. So for know, and we need window size, we need a lot of functionality like animation or anything. Just testing purpose, we can display window size. So when window.add event listener, then the function will be called, and it will be real time when we change window size, then inner height width set. can get it in real time. Without it, it will trigger multiple time and it will display errors, and when component will re-render or unmount, then clean up function to avoid memory leaks, just displaying the. So we can use like set interval timeout in our React component, and every like set interval every 1 second we are just changing our count and displaying the count every 1 second it will be. And when we are component unmount or we will move to our component to another component or another page, then the component our memory will be clean and the work will be closed. So like when we change like this, so whenever we change the value, like click the button, value change, the value whenever change, this function or this callback will be called. So common mistake of using use state, so forgetting the dependency array leads to unnecessary render. So you if you don't use dependency, you need to must a single empty dependency must. Without it can be unnecessary or unlimited re-renders. It cause your app slow. So missing cleanup logic. So whenever you will use like a browser event window.add event listener or document.add event listener, you need to must just cleanup logic, or you can use like use state, you use set interval or set timeout. You need to clean up for avoiding memory leaks and better performance. So our using useEffect for logic computed directly. So this is our use state, useEffect. You can do a lot of work. So most of the time you need like handling data fetching, handling browser DOM or events, and subscribe like third parties or real-time implementation. So that is our useEffect.